Alright, I'm going to make this video, and I'm going to make it pretty clear. I just did a warm-up a minute ago, so I'm like in a good mood. This is for Candace Wells. This is strictly for her. If she comes across and she sees it, that's great. But if not, it might help somebody else. There was a once upon a time that this girl was not the same girl that you see here today. Was in bad shape. She was bad shape. She was in a dark place. She tried to kill herself. I did. Why did I try to kill myself? Because I didn't think I was important. I didn't think I was special. I didn't think anybody would give a fuck. And I'm pretty sure nobody would miss me. I was that girl. And I'm not going to say that to be saying that I did something silly. I did. I overdosed on my own prescription medication. But obviously it wasn't my day. But I did go to rehab for 72 hours. They put me on 5150 hold because I did try to kill myself, which I probably deserved, which, fine. I don't take those pills anymore. Granted, I'm pretty comedic. I am pretty witty. I'm pretty different. If people were to ask me 10 years ago, what were you like? I was a dark, nocturnal, don't give a shit if I got dressed, took a shower, ate well, did anything. I was very in a dark place. Then my friend told me about a class that I took called Breaking Free. And I told her, I don't want to do it. She said, I'll pay for it. It was like $60. I didn't have $60, nor did I have $1 to my name, so I did get convinced to go to Breaking Free. To my demise, and to myself, I took this class with the clear impression that it wasn't going to do shit for me. Until I sat there. And I listened to the opening statement. When was the last time you were brought here for a reason, a friend, a coworker, whoever, whatever. I mean, it was a family member, a friend, a neighbor, a counselor, a somebody. Somebody brought you here that thought you could use this class to better yourself and your physical, emotional presence. Cry, just so you know. I haven't said that in a long time. So I went to Breaking Free. I got the book, I got the workbook, I opened the first page, and I'm like, please. Negative energy straight away. And they said, if you're here for yourself, raise your hand. I didn't raise mine. If you're here for others, raise your hand. Nope. I wasn't here for anybody else but me, and I didn't want to be here, and I was like, nope, not going to do it. Then it says, if you're here to heal a relationship, fix a current one, be with your spouse, be supportive of others, blah, 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 blah. And if you didn't, and then she went on, if you didn't raise your hand for any of those, why are you here? And I raised my hand. I said, my friend paid for these classes thinking it would help me. And she said, it's common. Your friend sees something in you that you need to fix. It could be yourself, your worth, or your being. And most of all, your being and yourself come first. Your health comes obviously on the top. Your health, your being, and your worth. And I was like, okay. She goes, so I'll ask you again, why are you here? I guess to fix myself, and my worth, and my being. She doesn't remember those, write them down. I was like, okay, so I wrote them down. We linger. We do all these steps. I'm crying like a baby because it's emotional. I went on in this class for 10 weeks. 10 weeks I was in this class. The first 2 where I was dumb and didn't give a fuck. Didn't give 2 bananas. Couldn't care less, but I went for the hour and 20 minutes. I did all the work, did all the workbook. On week 4 of chapter 4, it pretty much said something about being abused, verbally, ridiculed, making wrong choices, making the wrong move, always getting discreet, like screamed at unnecessarily, thinking that you've done the right thing. That was me. And I went on and wrote, they had us write like a temporary journal on the bottom of the page. What have you felt like today? What have you done today? Did you get up? Yes. Did you brush your teeth? Yes. There was a log, a little clip it on the bottom of every little page that you had to successfully challenge yourself, like drinking 8 glasses of water. Like, okay, that should be easy, right? But if you sleep all day, you're probably not going to drink your 8 glasses of water. So I went on to week 4, and I almost didn't go to week 5 because I was like, this is like, it's almost stressful. So I went to week 5, turned the page, watched the little clip it. They did some, this, and if you are crying right now, you're peeling away your dark. I was crying because whatever they did at the time, I was a basket case. I was an emotional mess, and I was a boo-hooer. Like, I would boo-hoo over, you need this, or let's pray about it, or let's, people would, it was in a church, it was in a counseling session at a church, which is fine, but it was mostly women. Candace, this is for you. This is mostly women. Either 5th marriages, 4th marriages, 3rd marriages, divorces imminent, blah, 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 blah. And I went all those classes, and then I took the class again. I went and saved cans and did all the things because I didn't have a job. I was mentally a mess because I was just recently retired, and all my retirement was held up for whatever, which was fine, but I got through it. But I was an emotional fucking mess. Tried to kill myself. How dark do you need to be before you kill yourself? Well, you get pretty dark and you want to kill yourself. So I went, after 10 weeks, I was feeling better. I was less heavy. I was being a better person. I was seeing what they were dishing, and I was feeling what they felt. I was feeling what the pages said. If you can do this, and you can do this, and you can do this, you're doing what you're supposed to do. You're putting yourself first, not everybody else. We don't care about your mom right now. We don't care about your kids right now. We don't care about your husband right now. We don't care. We don't care. We don't care. We don't care. Right now, we got to work on you. And I went and took that class again after 10 weeks. I took another 10 weeks after a 2-week break. I still looked at my notes. I slept with that book. And if I woke up in the middle of the night and I wanted to eat something bad, I looked at the book and it said, why are you eating something bad? And I put, I want to eat a cookie. Why? Because I'm anxious. I'm stressed. I'm annoyed. Why? And you had to write why. And your why, not the word why, the why. Why are you feeling this way? What drove you here? What is your problem? Like, it shook you. It said why. My why at the beginning was, I'm doing this for my friend. I'm doing this for my family. I don't know why I'm here. I don't know why I need to come here. Nothing's wrong with me. Like, all the negative things that you could throw at somebody, I was throwing in this book. I get to my next 10 weeks, and I'm a bigger person, a brighter light, and a happier place. I was like, woo. So then I went to Breaking Free 2.0. And I thought, it can't get any more emotional than the 10 and 20 weeks. I'm not going to be having a baby. I mean, like 20 weeks. That's like half a pregnancy. So I went to Breaking Free 2.0. Same bunch of women. We're still traveling down these roads together. We're listening to their stories. Why you're here? What happened to you? Why? How come? You don't have to talk if you don't want to. All of the things. Emotion. A mess. Their stories led me to cry. My story led them to cry. And my why changed for, I need to be a brighter light. I need to be a stronger woman. I need to have a personality. I need to get healthy. I need to stop feeling sorry for myself. Why do you want to stop feeling sorry for yourself? Because I want people to see me in a room. Not the person in the back, the person in the room. Not the loudest, not this arrogance, not the, look at me, aren't I awesome? I want to be seen in a room. Why? And then your why becomes, I am positive, I am amazing, I am life, I am good. I am good with today, and I am good with later. And I'll be good later on, and I'll be good at 4 o'clock, and I'll be amazing by 6. You put your why for my friend, because all the rough, abused, tyrant, rapid fire words become my friend, family, others, not for yourself. You're not here for yourself. At the beginning of my first 10 weeks, it wasn't for myself, it was for others. They needed me to peel those layers off and look at me. Why did they think you need this? Because you're not the brightest light, you're not the strongest person, you're not seen in a room, and nobody's going to miss you. You have to change your physical presence to accept yourself. If you don't put yourself first, Candace, you're not going to get well. I did 90 weeks of this class, and the first 2 weeks of the 10, it wasn't for me, it was for somebody else. The first 10 weeks, I was crying like a baby. The second, after 2 weeks off, the second week of the same class I just took 2 weeks earlier was a little less heavy, and I was a little less stressed. And then I was doing it to be better, to be brighter, to be stronger, to be seen. It was a turning point from suicide to communication, to listening, not being abused, listening, conversating, communicating, understanding, not being rushed to crazy, and not being talked down to. I wasn't going to accept it. I'm not going to be talked to that way. I'm not going to put myself in a position or a place where I am going to be alone with Satan. No, I cannot be here. I cannot come. I will not be showing up. I'm sorry. Goodbye. I'm going to go put myself first. I'm going to go take a shower, and I'm going to brush my teeth today. I'm going to get dressed, and I'm going to do my own thing. That was my strength. That was my because. That was my why, how, come, what for. It was my bright lighter with less stress. Having somebody say, you must come. You have to show up. It's a thing. You have to do it. I don't have to do anything. I'm going to do it for myself, and when I feel like it, as they used to tell me all the time, and one of my friends still uses it today, we're on Kelly time. If Kelly wants to come, Kelly's going to come. If Kelly's going to do something, she's going to put 100% in effort into it, or 100% out of effort to it. If I felt I needed to be somewhere for somebody else, I would be there for their strength, for the positivity, for the best part of myself that I can give them in their darkest days. Losing a family member, losing a dog, losing a cat, losing, their best purse, whatever. I can be there for them under their circumstances and not putting my drama into their I need you now moment. It was a positive reinforcement mess that I earned and learned so much from, that I deserved me. I deserved the best for me. And my worth ethic from then to now is crazy, because I'd rather work to death than linger in darkness. I'd rather work to death than linger in darkness. I'd rather say, it's okay today, sweetheart. You can get it done. Let's go. I do my own cheerleading. I do a complicated job, which to some is like, it ain't complicated. I have to deal with general public, with whatever emotional shit they're going. I'm like the counselor. This car turns into Counselor Kelly. I listen to everybody else's messes. Like I'm a counselor in this car. I'm a counselor for others in their darkest place where I've been to their brightest light and saying hi to them. And listening to and being a good listener. Not having a judgment from, well, you won't know about my day until I tell you. Oh, really? What happened? You know? Like, you make the best of their dark and try to spin it into day and bright and positive. But you're in a dark spot, Candace, and I'm sorry that you're in a dark spot. But if you take all the dark spots and you go find a breaking free class, it's non-denominational. It's in some churches. It's some in women's groups at a church. Mine was in a non-denominational church. And it wasn't based on a whole lot of religion. We did pray before. We did close with a prayer. But we didn't have to pray if we didn't want to pray. You didn't have to, stand up and say hallelujah. You didn't have to do any of that. It was your choice. And your choice meant you had to be present, aware, awake, and there. Because if you missed a week, it defeated the 10 weeks. You dedicate your life to being a mom, being a wife, being a mommy maker, a kid supporter, and when you've been abused for many, 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 many years, you don't know what to do. And I'm sorry that that's a thing with you. Just sorry. So with that, go find a breaking meat free class. Might cost you money, or somebody could support you, or my friend paid for mine. But initially, the 10 weeks was for her. I was like, I don't need this. What are you talking about? And then when I did it for myself, it was a little bit less heavy, a little lighter, brighter light. And then when I did the last one, it was for my whole strength and my whole being and my whole presence, and not letting people down, like being let down. Like, people have let me down so much, I don't associate with them, because that's a huge pet peeve of mine. Huge. There's a place for it. There's reasons without doubt, for whatever the reasons are. Couldn't make it, couldn't afford it, couldn't do it, do whatever. There's places for that. And my pet peeve at the end of my 90, it was like 40 weeks at the end, was being let down. My letdown makes me this. And you can't fix letdown. You have to just trudge forward to positive. I'm going to do this for myself today. I don't need to rely on them to help me feel positive. I'm going to move on. Moving on. Their pet peeve, my pet peeve, their reason for not being present is not my problem. Moving on. Got to go make the best day of my life. That's how I fixed it. I didn't rely on others. I don't. If they didn't want to come, they don't have to. I'll do it for myself. I'll do it for myself. No other reason but for myself. If I could come up to my friend and say, you want to do this with me? And they're like, never mind. You don't want to do it, that's fine. And then I would come to my other friends, and I say, hey, get ready. Why? What are we doing? Doesn't matter. You want to go or not go? Well, what are we doing? I said, just grab a jacket, grab some comfortable shoes, and get in the car. Do you trust me? That was my after breaking free class. My other one would have said, okay, then I won't do it either. I won't go where I was wanting to go, but I wanted to go with friends, so I guess I'm not going to go. Well, what were we going to do? They wanted to know what we were going to do. And I would always say, don't ask. Do You trust me. You're going to have fun. You're going to enjoy it. Let's just go. My biggest pet peeve is being let down. And that's the truth. A letdown is a letdown is a letdown. But the first time you let me down, the second time you won't get asked. I'll look you over and I'll go, nah, they're always that person that's going to question what I want to do. If I said this is just a hypothetical. I would never ask somebody to go to Disneyland with me because I wouldn't go to Disneyland. Now that same person could come at me and say, Kelly, I know you don't like Disneyland, but please come with me. I want you to have fun with me. I might think about it, but would probably reluctantly say, that's not my shit and I don't want to go. And I want to bring your day down because I'd just make fun of everything. I'd be like the comedian all day. It's like, why am I here seeing fucking Mickey Mouse? Like, I wouldn't bring their day down, but it might not be the right choice for that day. So you can look at somebody else. I won't hurt my feelings. But thank you for the offer. Because that's me. My 5-6 years ago girl would go, I guess I'll go. And my physical being was not present in their happy. So why would I want to bring their day down? It would. I just bring their day down. Like, I'm going to bring your day down. And I'm going to bring your day down. So all my negative words to bring their day down. So you choose to make the best of what you bring to the table every day. You get up, you brush your teeth, you get dressed, you do something. And when you lag, if you don't feel well, you still do something. You brush your teeth, change your underwear, put some sweats on versus your pajamas, and you feel better. You just feel better. Don't linger in self-pity. You will bring your emotional self to make it easier for you to get attacked by somebody that's abusive, verbally, physically, mentally. Yourself being bright, light, caring, and strong will not be self-wealth, caring, and strong. That's an easy target. Is Dollar Tree already closed? What? I wanted to go to Dollar Tree. I guess I can't go to Dollar Tree. There's nobody there. That sucks. That sucks balls. It's dark even. I don't even see a car in the parking lot. I guess they don't want me to go there. Whatever. I'll go here instead. Anyway, that's my spiel on breaking free. Go see it. Go figure it out. Get yourself right with yourself. Be present. Be positive. Be bright. Be strong with yourself. And I promise you will be a different person. And the outcome of my time was 41 minutes of telling you breaking free is badass. And my second part is stay positive every single day. Make it about you. Bring yourself first. Your being, you're first. You're first. You're first. Your happiness is first. Your joy is first. Everything else is secondary. Don't make it every day secondary. That's it.